We'll do a take where you guys just introduce, say like, hi, my name is, and and then that's all you have to say, and then I'll go into the questions.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys are ready.
Hi, I'm Becky Wilde.
I'm Mathilda Hodgkins-Byrne.
And we race at 2:01 tomorrow afternoon.
Now, are you guys excited, nervous? What led you guys to this moment?
Yeah, actually after Paris, on a night out, we just drunkenly decided to enter. We've never done it before, and we thought it was a really good opportunity to come out here, post-Olympics, experience Boston, experience Head of the Charles for the first time, and yeah, that led us here.
Yeah, you thought it was a really good idea. I thought Becky was probably going to be too drunk to remember, didn't know she'd enter us at that point. But no, it's a really great experience and a really big event to be part of. So yeah, really cool to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you guys don't regret that decision at all.
Absolutely not. No, sober us also agrees.
Oh, nice.
So I went to university as a swimmer. I swam throughout my teenage years to a high level, but I fell out of love with it at university, and I'm a big believer in not doing something you're not enjoying anymore. So I decided to switch. There was a talent identification program at the university I was at, Bath University, and tested out for that. Did fairly well, and literally the next day I became a rower and went from there really.
I did a little bit of reading. Both of your parents are PE teachers. Did they have any influence on your involvement in swimming and rowing in general?
Not really, to be honest. They're very much into like ball sports, so hockey, rugby, all those kind of sports. That's like big in my family. Swimming was a bit different to what the others in my family did, and rowing completely different. Like no one in my family has ever sat in a boat, so yeah, I'm the odd one out.
Again, I know that you represented South of England in swimming at the London Youth Olympics.
So it was the 2012 UK School Games. So it was actually the test event for the Olympics. So it was the first time anyone had ever raced in the Olympic pool. So yeah, we got to race there before all the big stars. So that was an incredible event, and my first like multi-sport event, which was really special. So even like going to the Olympics, it's so weird, like actually harking back to the memories of like those events that I did when I was younger, because they all like have led to like this amazing big event.
Mathilda, I know you've been doing it for a while. My first question for you is, what got you into rowing in particular? Was there an exact thing that led you to choose the sport, or how did you get into it?
So I actually really didn't like sport at school. I was part of a private school, and they'd been playing hockey, netball for a couple of years. So when I joined, like they'd been playing for a while, I was a newbie. I'm really bad at being bad at something, and then if I'm not very good at it, I don't want to take part. I was also like semi-overweight, so very unfit. So athletics equally terrible. I thought rowing was like The Notebook, big wooden boats, like just basically paddling down the river doing absolutely zero exercise. So I was like, I can do that. That's like my afternoon PE. But I think because I was quite tall, quite quickly I was bigger than the rest of the squad, so naturally I was going to be faster. And I think I finally admitted that I'm really competitive. So then once I was faster than them, I was like, of course I'm going to keep going because I'm better than them. Just progressed up from juniors to under 23s and seniors.
Before your first Olympics in 2020, you were a gold medalist in the double scull at the 2016 World Rowing Championships. I mean, how was that event?
Yeah, no, that was the first time I won. I'd done the double the year before with a different person, and we definitely learned how the event kind of works. Like every boat is sort of raced differently. So going into 2016, we knew like how we'd have to schedule a race plan, like the speeds we'd have to hit. So we knew we were quite fast going in. But yeah, the Romanians, like they're brilliant in small boats, they're brilliant at sculling, and they'd won for the past few years. So we knew they were like the biggest ones to beat, and we beat them in the semi, so we knew we were probably going to be able to win it. I ended up winning under 23. So yeah, that was the last time I was actually in a double before this one.
We're seeing coming around the corner, boat number 2. This is from Great Britain, Mathilda Hodgkins and Rebecca Wilde. These are the Olympic bronze medalists from Great Britain. They qualified through Lucerne. They were not expected to be big timers, and they had a great regatta in Paris. Welcome to Boston.
Are there moments where you guys ever feel like giving up?
Yeah, I think for me, I've always had this big dream to go to the Olympics, and now the dream is to go again and win another medal. So yeah, it's like that big goal, and then there's small goals along the way, like each season or each few months, like aiming for those smaller goals. And there are days, yeah, especially like in the deep dark of winter where I'm struggling a lot. But I think as long as I'm loving it and enjoying what I do every single day, then it's not a chore, and that makes it so much easier.
Yeah, that's really fantastic.
I'm just incredibly competitive, so I think it helps the position. Like, I know I'm a fairly quick sculler, so when we do pieces every week, like, I'll know roughly where I rank, and I like being able to beat people, and I like the feel of it, and I like the control I have to know how I can move the boat. Yeah, like the question of stopping, I guess the easiest point would have been to stop when I became pregnant. But I kind of just wanted to prove people I could do it. And I think that's always been like a thing, you know, if people think I can't do it, therefore I'm going to prove I can do it, which is like a very large driver of it.
That's really cool. I think that really segues beautifully into my next question. Mathilda, really, you know, being a mom, but also being a pro athlete, how do you balance both of them?
I wouldn't say I'm probably sane most of the time. Becky can definitely contest to that. I'm really organised with Freddie, but then as a result, I'm really scatty myself at times. Freddie's my son, yeah, he's my 2-year-old. I think, like, for me, they've worked quite well together. Obviously, I have the pressure of rowing and everything, but I really appreciate Freddie pulls me out of the rowing bubble. Previously, I found like rowing can kind of be like all-consuming and take over, whereas I'll open my front door having collected Freddie, and either he'll want a snack, or he'll need like a toy, or he just wants entertainment. And particularly when I was coming back at the beginning of the year, like being able to go for a walk with him and seeing him like bumble along, you realise like there's more to life, and it's allowed me to take like the risks I wouldn't have ever taken before in rowing, because the consequences don't feel so all-consuming, and it's definitely made me a much better athlete. It's like really freeing as a result.
Now, Becky, I do have another question for you. I was doing a little bit of research, and I found out that you had surgery on your forearms a couple months before the 2024 Paris Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me, how is that feeling of getting into recovery?
Yeah, so I had surgery 10 weeks before Olympic trials, and at that point I wasn't in the team. So it was a big risk, and we didn't really have any room to take a backward step. The schedule was like to the day. We had to hit every point we could, and I was really well supported. I performed well enough to make it into the team at trials, but yeah, there was points in the recovery that were really hard, and there were points where I doubted if I'd make it back and if I'd be fast enough, but luckily, yeah, I made it into the team at trials, and then it was a bit of a whirlwind from there, really.
You know, having that surgery and being a parent, how did both of those limit but also motivate you guys to get to the goal of being at the Olympics?
I guess both our stories, they're a lot about resilience, and so when we came together as a double, we had such individual resilience that like putting it together was such a good combination, and it meant that when we faced challenges on our journey to qualifying for the Olympics and then medaling at the Olympics, we knew they were challenges that we could overcome, and we had the character and strength to do that, so I think that really helped us perform how we did in Paris.
Yeah, I agree. I think like Becky wasn't actually part of the team when she had her forearm surgery, so like so Becky's really very new into the team. But I think from my point of view, joining up with Becky, I knew that she knew how to look after herself, and therefore we both trusted that we'd bring the best version of ourselves to the start line, and I never considered anything else. And I think that's such a nice position to be in, to just know that the person you're with is going to be able to do everything they possibly can. It just, any like kind of side worries you'd have just aren't there, and you can just focus on like A to B as fast as possible.
When did you guys become a team? When did you guys start to work together as a group?
We got selected in March this year, so we'd never rowed together before until January this year, and then we did some testing and stuff, but then didn't get officially selected until March, so not long.
I think I'd briefly seen you in the crew room before, but I was on mat leave when Becky was first coming in, so like we didn't really know each other at all.
Yeah.
Like initially, you weren't meant to be part of. It was meant to be a different combination for the double, but we jumped in together and it clicked. So we kind of just went from there with it.
I definitely had complete trust in Mathilda. Like, she's so much more experienced than me. She's been to an Olympics. She's won under 23s. So for me, it was like, okay, I've got to bring up the side now. You know, like I can't let her down. So I had complete faith in her behind me.
Really, after everything coming together, it was kind of ambiguous if you guys were going to medal at the Olympics, I've heard. Was that correct? Or how did that feel going in?
Ambiguous as being polite. We were ranked last going in. Yeah, we qualified second at the FQR, the final qualification regatta, which was the last spot. So out of the 13 boats, we were ranked 13th. So to say we were hoping for a medal before we went in, we both knew what we were capable of in the boat, but until the semi-final, we hadn't really admitted it that much to each other. And even after the semi-final, it was only with our coach we actually discussed going for a medal. Everyone else was very much like, oh, if you make the A final, that's going to be incredible. And we were like, yeah, but we think we can do more. And I think like just that like internal belief definitely was like kind of the fundamentals of the boat the whole way through. Like, if you believe in yourself and the person that you're with, like, why would you doubt it? You don't kind of need people around you to back you if you just trust it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in our small team, like Mathilda and I and our coach Tom, we had this belief that we could do something special, and there was a lot of steps along the way to achieving that. So much physical work, mentally we had to become stronger, and technically make a lot of improvements. But we built so much belief every day that, yeah, going to Paris, we knew we were capable of something special, despite everyone else's expectations. And we just went out and delivered that.
Do you have any advice, any words to say really to those people that aspire to be where you guys are?
Yeah, I would just say never give up on the dream. No matter what challenges come your way, always have belief in yourself and always keep chasing that dream, and keep loving what you do, because that will help so much.
I think like for me, ultimately, you're in control of your own performance. Like, don't wait for someone. Like, make that opportunity happen. And I think just because of the position you start out at, like whatever speed you are currently, there's absolutely no reason why you end at that speed. Like, it's completely in your control to change it and make yourself faster. Like Becky's alluded to, like, we'd finished the sessions like with our brains genuinely aching because we'd concentrated that hard, and like 100% it was worth it. And even if we hadn't got the result, we would have known we'd done everything possible. And I think like that was the biggest thing. Like, we went to the games knowing that we'd literally done everything we could, and I think for anyone, as long as you know that, you can't ask for any more, and you also can't be like let down by your performance because you've done everything you can.
What are some things besides rowing that you guys love to do? When you guys aren't on the water, taking care of business, what do you guys like to do?
I actually love writing. Bit of a passionate writer about sports and stuff. So I do a lot of that like alongside, and started a bit of a podcast as well. I'm a bit of I love writing, I love reading, that kind of thing.
Which podcast? That way, viewers can watch.
It's called Sharing the Podium, and it's produced by Junior Rowing News. So yeah.
So we'll check it out.
Thank you.
So with Freddie, we have an allotment. For me, I think it's really important that he understands like where food comes from. So we're very, very slowly doing with that. But on the side, I also like help a boat club out with some of their data analysts. I just really enjoy like looking for the different trends and like patterns in it, and figuring out like where there's loopholes and they like can help them. So kind of for my brain, that's that side, and Freddie's the like garden mucky part.